Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Citizen of the Year, our very special event every year that we hold in March, honoring a new citizen, a new resident of Darien as our Citizen of the Year. And this year, we are very pleased to honor James Kiser as our Citizen of the Year, the 2018 Citizen of the Year. At this time, I would like to introduce Gavin Quinn to come up and give our evening's invocation.
15 years ago, I was sitting where Jim is sitting today. I happened to be the Citizen of the Year 15 years ago, and I told all the children on that Sunday to make sure they passed City Hall, to take a good look at the banner in front of City Hall. So I hope you've all seen Jim's banner in front of City Hall. I live with three other Carmelites over on off Bailey Road, across from the old Carefree Village. Father Bernhardt is a classmate of mine, and we live together. He grew up in Germany. And every time there's some type of a natural tragedy, like we just had the terrible storm out in the east, or we have the hurricanes down south, and with the fires out in California, I look to Bernie and say, you know, Bernie, Darien's a nice place to live. And you know, he says, yeah, I know. But it's a nice place to live. And it's nice because of people like Jim, and we're really thankful that for all the things that he has done for everybody. You know, one word I think that could describe him would be he was there all the time, there for his family, there for his friends, there for people he didn't know, there for not just the Lions Club, but everybody in need. He's always been there, and that's a good place to be. Be there at every now to make the kingdom come. So I'd just like to. Could you all put your hands toward Jim, please, like this? Jim, could you stand up? If you can stand up, good, okay. May your purse always hold a coin or two. May there always be work for your hands to do. May the sun may shine on a window pane, and a rainbow be sure to follow each rain. May the hand of a friend always be near you. May the Lord hold you in the palm of his hands and not squeeze you too hard. We thank you, Lord, for all the gifts that you've given to Jim and to all of us, and the gift that Jim and us, we have to share with each other every day. Bless us, O Lord, for these gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Or a shorter verse is, rub-a-dub-dub, pass the grub, yea, God. Amen.
We're going to do a few things a little bit out of order this evening. We have some special guests here this evening that can't stay with us this evening, but they have some recognition that they would like to give to Jim. And I would like to introduce our Illinois Congressman, Bill Foster. Would you please come up?
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Congressman Bill Foster. It's my honor to represent this area as part of the 11th District of Illinois in the United States House of Representatives. And you know, so I represent you in Washington, and there's a lot of things in Washington that are a little bit crazy right now. It seems like everyone in Washington has some sort of angle they're trying to work, or just, you know, trying to advance their career in some way. But so I spend half of my time in Washington, D.C., and the other half back home. And the crazier things get in Washington, the more I enjoy coming back home. And it's because, you know, of people like Jim, that you see people that just dedicate their lives to making their communities a better place. And it's almost diametrically opposed to what you see in Washington. So I have a pronouncement here that will be, we've actually entered it in the proceedings of the 115th Congress. So this is going to be, among other things, entered, it will be visible on the internet forever. So you'll be able to show your grandchildren this proclamation. And so I'll just read it quickly, and maybe we'll have a picture here. So this is entered into the proceedings of the 115th Congress, second session. Mr. Foster, this is me. It says, Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the 2018 Darien Citizen of the Year, Jim Kiser. For over 2 decades, Jim has been a model citizen of the city of Darien. For over 21 years, he's served his parish, Our Lady of Peace, and has been an active member of the local Lions Club since 1997. Every year, he spends many hours assisting Giant Steps, a school for autistic children, with their spring and fall fundraisers. These are just a few of the significant contributions to the community that have set Jim apart as a model citizen. So I'd like to thank Jim for his honorable commitment to the city of Darien and its residents. His commitment is an inspiration to all of us. So, thank
We have a few other elected officials that will not be able to stay with us this evening, so I'd like to introduce them this evening to make a presentation to Jim. And we'll start out first with Jim Durkin of the 82nd District, State Senator John Curran, Representative David Olson, and would you gentlemen please come up and make your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for this invitation. This is such a nice event, but I think it's a wonderful reflection of community that you've been able to establish over the many years here. So this is a wonderful event, and I'm honored to be here. My name is Jim Durkin. I'm the state representative from the 82nd District. I'm also the House Republican leader, and I am in Springfield. So as the Congressman said, things can be a little bit strange at times, and it's no different in Springfield. And it's always nice to see the Capitol in the rear view mirror every Thursday. So, and it was even more beautiful this past Thursday, trust me, after this past week. So I'm honored to be here with my two friends also who represent this area. To my right is David Olson. He's a new member of the House of Representatives. He represents the western portion of Darien, and also the new State Senator John Curran. They're both fine men, and they're real outstanding public servants. And we as well are honored to, at least in the House of Representatives, to honor Jim Kiser with his work and also for his award for this evening. And with that, we have House Resolution 820, which also has been approved by the House of Representatives, and it is now forever in the House of Representative annals, and your your grandchildren and great-grandchildren will be able to view this at some point, and whatever comes after that. So just be patient. There's a lot of whereases in this one. So, all right, so get a drink, sit back, have a smoke if you need to. All right, here we go. Whereas the members of the Illinois House of Representatives wish to congratulate Jim Kiser on being selected as the City of Darien 2018 Citizen of the Year, and whereas Jim Kiser became a member of the Darien's Lions Club in 1997, known as Mr. Lion, he has held all 12 positions in the Board of Directors and served as president from 2013 to 2014. He has chaired nearly all of the 30 committees. His major contributions included the 2001 4th of July Parade, which is a great parade, the 2009 Darien Fest beer tent, I'll drink to that, the 2005 and 2008 Darien Fest corn tent, the 2002 Candy Day, the 1999 Children's Halloween Party, the 2006 Pancake Breakfast, the 1999 Big Raffle, and the 2011 golf outing. Jim, I don't know where you get time to go to your job during the day. That's pretty amazing. He also led the Candy Day business from 2001 to 2008. He not only lends his helping hands to the Darien's Lions Club, but seeks out the needs of the Downers Grove and Westmont Club. But also, Jim Kiser assists Giant Steps, as was mentioned earlier, a school for autistic children. It's a wonderful school, and they do fantastic work for families and also for children. With their annual spring barbecue, and again in the fall for their welcome back spaghetti dinner from 2004 to 2012. He also assisted the Hinsdale High School Booster Club at the concessions during the athletic events. He's a donor of blood and platelets and the Life Source services. And he has given 49 times so far. Whereas in 1987, Jim Kiser and his wife Carrie were married and became homeowners in the Hinswood Patio Homes subdivision, and has served several years on the homeowners board of directors. In 1993, they moved to their present home, and whereas Jim and his wife have two children, Thomas and Caitlin, Jim has instilled in his children the importance of giving as they regularly volunteered right alongside their father for numerous events. Therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the 100th General Assembly of the State of Illinois that we congratulate Jim Kiser on being selected as the City of Darien 2018 Citizen of the Year, and we thank him for his service to the community, and may it be further resolved that a suitable copy of this resolution be presented to Jim as a symbol of our respect and esteem. Adopted House of Representatives February 14, 2018. Representative Olson, would you present the suitable copy? Thank you.
I would be pleased to.
Jim?
Here, this copy. For you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. John, good job, David.
And we're not going to go through that again, but we have a certificate of recognition as well from the Illinois Senate on behalf of Senate President John Cullerton and Senate Leader Bill Brady and myself for Jim. So Jim, congratulations. Community means everything. You're someone that exemplifies that, and we wish you congratulations tonight, but best wishes going forward because we know you're not going anywhere. So,
Okay? Perfect. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's good. See, I said,
Jim, thank you.
I made an appropriate length.
Thank you all for, thank you all for, whoa boy, watch out. We are done with the presentations at this point, and now I'd like to invite Carrie Kiser up to do the toast.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Jim, Tom, and Caitlin, I would like to express sincere thanks to all of you for making this a truly unforgettable evening for us. Each of you came here tonight to honor Jim for his dedication of service in our city of Darien for the past 30 years. As you all know, with your interactions with Jim, he likes to talk and talk and talk, and sometimes you look at your watch and say, this should have been a 2-minute conversation, and it turns out to be 15. I know that. But actually, Jim truly likes to listen. He listens to the point of the end of a phone call and you're walking away and he'll say, oh, one more thing. It happens to me all the time, and I know it happens to you. But truthfully, Jim has a unique personality in a way that he is genuinely interested in who you are and what you have to say, and he remembers it. In life, we all need that go-to person in our phone that we can call for support in any situation we are in, and for many of us, that call is to Jim. But just so you know, when you call Jim, he puts you as a contact in his phone. He has over 1,000 contacts, I kid you not. I know the originality of his character is why he's being honored by you, the City of Darien, as Citizen of the Year 2018. You have recognized Jim for the generosity of his time to those in need and for the support he is for his hometown in every facet that makes this city succeed. So with all due respect and uprightness, I simply ask each of you to help get this dinner started. So please stand, raise your glass, and let's toast to Jim Kiser, a devoted husband, father, and friend, a devout follower of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And as the Lions say, not above you, not below you, but with you. Here's to Jim. Here.
Very nice, Jerry. Please continue on eating, and I'm sure there'll be dessert out shortly. But I would like to start our presentation this evening. I have a number of introductions to make of very special people here this evening. And I will start out with our very own city government and introducing you to our elected officials. I'm Mayor Weaver, in case I didn't tell you that already. Okay. I forgot about that one detail. We also have our city clerk, Joanne Ragoni, here this evening. Our city treasurer, Mike Corin, is here this evening, back in the other room. City administrator, Brian Vanna, the fellow that makes everything work well here in the city. Our elected officials are, we'll start with Ward 1, that's Ted Schauer. And then I'll jump right to Alderman Tom Klistick, Alderman for Ward 4. Joe Marquez is our Alderman for Ward 5. Tell him he looks cute in that bow tie, okay? He's cute. In the bow tie. Our alderman for Ward 7 is Tom Belzic. And some other dignitaries that we have here this evening is DuPage County Commissioner Gary Grasso. He just happens to be running for the Illinois Attorney General this evening, so please get to meet him this evening. And for Downers Grove Township, we have our assessor, Greg Bolts. And of all people, who is now a township trustee, guess who? Art Donner. The village, the mayor of Downers Grove is here this evening with us, Martin Tully. And from our staff, we have our police chief, Greg Thomas, with us this evening. And Commander Jerry Pickley is with us this evening. Moving on to our Darien Park District Board, we have Kathy Marquez, Frank Novarini, and Lou Spiros. From our Indian Prairie Public Library Board, we have Mary Krupika. You know, after a while of being up here, you get to hear these names over and over and over again, and it's exciting to me because we have so many wonderful people, residents in the city of Darien, that choose to get involved in so many different ways. And you're going to hear their names again this evening because they give so much to the city of Darien. Moving on to our Darien Chamber, we have a number of members from our Darien Chamber. James Burke, Tom Pappas, and Carol Kemp is here this evening. And our new director of the Chamber, April Pedlick, who's doing a great job. Now I'd like to introduce some of the volunteers who make things work so well in the city of Darien and give so much of their time to us freely by being volunteers on committees and commissions. With us this evening is Dennis Kelly from our communications, our cable volunteer. Where's Dennis this evening? From our environmental committee, we have Robert Irk, Hilda, there he is, Hilda Gonzalez, Alan Jakovic. Okay, we got you all sitting at the same table. Good. Okay, I can point one way. And Chris Sant is over there. And also Arletta Pecknick. From our Fire and Police Commission, Frank Novarini. And a new member this year, John Armelino. Thank you, John, for volunteering. From our Planning and Zoning Commission, we have a number of current members and a number of retired members who are with us this evening. Mike Desmond, Robert Erickson, Ron Kiefer, Lou Mallers, Bev Meyer, Ken Ritzer, and there's one individual I'd like to point out that's retiring from our Plan Commission this evening, and he is here this evening with us. Ray Milkus. He has served the city of Darien for longer than I've even been on the city, involved in the city. And Ray Milkus, would you stand up? He's been a member of the Plan Commission for 34 years. I was hoping to introduce our lending closet representatives, Dan and Mary Sackett, but unfortunately, Mary had a serious accident today, so they are not with us. If you don't know about our lending closet, it is a facility that we have at City Hall where if you are in need of a wheelchair, crutches, any kind of medical equipment, you can call the city and have the lending closet get that equipment for you to use on a permanent or temporary basis. It's a wonderful facility service we added to the city, and I just like to point that out every year at our Citizen of the Year. And the next person I'd like to introduce is Steve Kowina. He is our all-around guy and cameraman for special events. Steve, where are you? Okay, back there. Thank you, Steve. In our holiday decorating committee, we have some members here, and they are Liz Hayes, Jim Kiser, and Jerry Legansky. Is Jerry here? Jerry's back there. The individuals that put together this wonderful event this evening, I'd like to introduce those individuals. They are wonderful volunteers. Bonnie Kiser is the chairman. Bonnie, back here. And our committee is at the table with her. Linda Borowiak, a new member of the committee. Carol Mellers and Meryl Salazar at my table. Okay. Now we get to introduce all of the past citizens of the year. And I'm sure all of you remember this individual. He was our 2010 Citizen of the Year, just passed away last year. And he touched so many lives, I'm sure, in this room alone. His name was Paul Broccoli. And he passed away last year. He was our 2010 Citizen of the Year, and he is missed this evening. Well, this evening, attending this meeting, this event, we have our 1974 Citizen of the Year, Lil Brown. There she is. Trish Sant. Back here, our 2002 Citizen of the Year. Gavin Quinn, right up here. John Callan was our 2004 Citizen of the Year. Freshly back from Florida, how about that? Can you tell by the tan? 2006 was our Rosemary Courtney was our Citizen of the Year. There she is, okay. Art Donner was our 2009 Citizen of the Year. Rob and Charvion, are you here this evening? Our first duo, Rob and Char. 2013, Kathy Marquez was our Citizen of the Year. 2015 was Ron Kiefer. 2016, Mary Krapika. Are you catching on to all these names over and over again? Yes. And last year's Citizen of the Year, Steve Hyatt. All these talented people just make us realize that this is quite a nice place to live. And now I'd like to go over, and I'm conflicted about whether to read the whole resolution that the City Council passed for Jim Kiser, because his accomplishments are pretty amazing. And so I would like to go over that resolution right now. This is what the City Council voted on and approved at our City Council meeting in February. Whereas Jim Kiser and his wife Carrie have been Darien residents since 1987 and have 2 children, Thomas and Caitlin. And whereas Jim Kiser's milestones are measured in days or months, are not measured in days or months of support, but in a multitude of years. And it's very hard to find a beginning timeline for Jim, as he has been doing so much for so many years. And whereas Jim Kiser is dedicated to his parish, Our Lady of Peace, which spans over 21 years, he served as a religious education instructor from 2002 to 2012, helping grade school children prepare for their sacraments. He was a member of the Parish Council for a year and has been a member of the Holy Name Society since 2005 and served numerous times as a board member. He is the first volunteer for any major fundraising activity in the parish whenever they embark on one. And whereas Jim Kiser's greatest giving by far is to the Lions Club, the Darien Lions Club. Jim became a member of the Darien Lions Club in 1997, and from his license plate to his email address to his actions, Jim is Mr. Lion. He has held all 12 positions on the board of directors, served as president from 2013 to 2014, and has chaired nearly all 30 committees. His major contributions include heading up the following events: 1999 Children's Halloween Party and Big Raffle, 2001 4th of July Parade, 2002 Candy Day, 2005 and 8 and 2008 Darien Fest Corn Tent, 2006 Pancake Breakfast, 2009 Darien Fest Beer Tent, and 2011 Golf Outing. And he's led the Darien Day, the Candy Day business from 2001 to 2008. He not only lends his helping hands to the Darien Lions Club, but he also seeks out the needs in Downers Grove and Westmont clubs. Jim has brought recognition to Darien by serving and participating in the regional and international Lions Club activities. He has taken on the role as District 1J Zone Chair for the Southeast region, and he has chaired the state's Alert program, and in 2017 was chair for recruiting high school marching bands to participate in the Lions International Parade in Chicago. In 2007, he was an active member for the 90th International Lions Anniversary Committee, and for his work in Lionism, Jim has been recognized by the Darien Lions Club in District 1J with the following awards: 2003 Lions of Illinois Foundation Award, 2004 and 5 Darien Lions of the Year, 2005 Darien Lions of Illinois Foundation Fellow, 2011 District 1J George Lazansky Award, 2016 Darien Lions Lifetime Achievement Award, and the Melvin Jones Fellowship recipient. And whereas, although Jim Kiser's favorite Lion activity is flipping pancakes for the annual pancake breakfast, the longevity of his giving and activities continue on and on. And whereas for more than 15 years, Jim Kiser has enjoyed helping the Easter Bunny, the Darien Lions Club and the Darien Park District hide Easter eggs in various parks for their annual Easter egg hunt. And whereas Jim has assisted the Darien Chamber of Commerce in the planning and setting up of Darien Fest, he was instrumental in working on the safety committee for the Darien Dash. In 2009, Jim was given the honor of receiving the Darien Chamber of Commerce Outstanding Citizen Award. And whereas Jim has been a member of the Holiday Lights Committee for the past 6 years, Jim locates the nominated homes, drives the committee members from location to location for the judging. He is the committee photographer. He creates the visual display of the houses, the winning homes, for the recognition at our city council meetings and for viewings for residents while at City Hall. Prior to being on the committee, Jim's home alone was awarded the second and third place awards and he loves being on this committee and loves decorating his own home for the holidays. And whereas Jim Kiser yearly packs up his truck, and heads to Lisle with other Lions members to assist Giant Steps, a school for autistic children, with their annual spring barbecue and fall welcome back spaghetti dinner, from a food server to a worker in the cloakroom to assisting with silent auctions. Jim is a prevalent supporter of this organization. And whereas Jim Kiser has assisted the Hinsdale South High School Booster Club at the concession stand during many athletic events, Jim is a steady life source blood and platelets donor, having given over 49 times and still counting. And whereas one nominator said, Jim's effort to serve others are synonymous with our city motto, a nice place to live, as well as Darien's Lion motto, we serve. No one embodies the spirit of this motto more than Jim Kiser, whose interests have always been shown to dedicated to unselfish serving of others in and outside the community. Jim is a role model for all residents, young and old, and his passion and commitment for the well-being of his community runs the path to seek to better the lives of those who are in need. He has and does touch more lives than anyone could anticipate. And whereas Jim Kiser certainly satisfies the guidelines of the selection of the Citizen of the Year Committee for his diversity of activities, length of service, degree of involvement in the community, and impact to the city of Darien, now therefore be resolved that the City Council of the City of Darien, that Jim Kiser be hereby designated the 2018 Citizen of the Year for the City of Darien in recognition of his many years of dedicated service. And of course, this was a unanimous vote. Congratulations, Jim Kiser. Jim, I have a few more accolades here for you. The governor couldn't be here tonight to honor you, so I'll just have to read a letter that he sent in your honor. Dear Jim, as governor of the state of Illinois, I am pleased to congratulate you on being named the 2018 Citizen of the Year by the city of Darien. This is a well-deserved award and should make you very proud to be recognized for your contributions to the community. Being named the Citizen of the Year in your community is a terrific honor and a testament to the dedicated volunteer efforts you have put forth throughout the years. I commend you for being so committed to your community. In addition, this achievement will undoubtedly help to ensure your fellow citizens to follow your lead and join in service to their community. Congratulations again. On behalf of the people of the land of Lincoln, I offer you my best wishes and continued health, happiness, and success in the years to come. Also, our U.S. Senator, Dick Durbin, sent a letter of congratulations. Dear Mr. Kiser, congratulations on your recognition as Darien's 2018 Citizen of the Year. This achievement is a testament to your hard work, dedication, and commitment. You should be extremely proud of the work you have done over the years for the community of Darien. Whether it is your participation in the Darien Lions Club, your service to Giant Steps, or your extensive volunteer work at the City of Darien, your selfless efforts have proven essential to the community of Darien, and your admirable work should not go unrecognized. Congratulations for all of your hard work and achievements, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. That was signed by Senator Richard Durbin. Now I'd like to introduce Gary Grasso, DuPage County Board member, and just happens to be running for Attorney General. He has to make a presentation from the county board for you.
Good evening, everyone. Before we get to Jim, one more accolade. You know, I'm a former mayor too, and while community, and this is a very nice place to live, is the result of a lot of work of a lot of people, it is also the result of a great mayor that you have. So let's give a round of applause to Mayor Kathleen Weaver. So, on behalf of DuPage County and our chairman, Dan Cronin, a resolution of commendation to James Kiser. Whereas the city of Darien, Illinois celebrates outstanding members of its community and DuPage County, and whereas Darien resident Jim Kiser has dedicated himself to giving back to his community for over 21 years, and whereas Mr. Kiser served as a religious education instructor at his parish for 10 years, a board member of the Holy Name Society, and is the first to volunteer for any major fundraising activity for the parish. Whereas he has contributed to the Darien Lions Club, serving on every position with the board of directors and chairing many committees. And whereas he generously supports Giant Steps, a school for children with autism in Lisle, doing everything from acting as a food server to assisting with the organization's silent auction. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Daniel J. Cronin, Chairman of the DuPage County Board, and members of the County Board do hereby join Darien in nominating Jim Kiser as the 2018 Darien Citizen of the Year for freely giving his time and talents to so many causes around the city and DuPage County. Enacted this third day of March 2018 in Wheaton, Illinois. Congratulations.
Now I'd like to introduce Marty Schaefer, the commander of VFW 2838, for a presentation. Marty?
Good evening and thank you, and congratulations, Jim. On behalf of the Darien VFW Memorial Post 2838, we've got something that we'd like to present to you. But first, we would like to thank you and your brother Lions for the outstanding relationship that we have had throughout our symbiotic relationship that we've had throughout our career. While the Lions has been around a little longer than the VFW has in town, you guys have always supported us, and whether you're directing one of my more senior members to their spot in the parade on the 4th of July, or you're helping us set up something at the Darien Fest, You and your brother Lyons have always been there for us, and we greatly appreciate that. So thank you very much. What I would like to present, though, is really not from the VFW. But I think it's appropriate that perhaps that we are the ones that are presenting it. What I've got for you today, and I'll ask you to come up here to get it because I'm not going to lay this on a table. This flag was flown over the United States Capitol, and the certificate that comes with it reads, "The flag of the United States of America. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown over the United States Capitol on January 26, 2018, at the request of the Honorable Peter J. Roscom, Member of Congress. This flag was flown in recognition of James Kiser, 2018 Darien Citizen of the Year. Signed, Stephen T. Ayers, Architect of the Capitol." And sir, I thank you for all that you've done for us. You truly are a great team. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right.
You can sit down now for just for a few minutes. You're not going to be done for very long. Before I turn the program over to the Master of Ceremonies to continue with our presentations, the beautiful centerpieces on the table were provided by the Citizen of the Year Committee and are gifts to the past and present Citizens of the Year. So please remember to take one if you are a past Citizen of the Year as you leave. We would like to thank the Darien Lions Club for the candy rolls that are on and the Tootsie Pops in every place setting. And tonight's videotaping will be seen is being done by Al Cohout in Sound Memories Video and will be televised on our Channel 7. In case anyone is not here this evening and wants to see what we did, make sure you pass the word on to others that it's a wonderful event to watch on our Channel 6. So now I'd like to introduce Steve Hyatt, who is the Master of Ceremonies for the rest of the evening. Are we in trouble?
Should you be? Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to reiterate thanking the ladies from the committee that plan basically a wedding reception every year, year in and year out. Bonnie, Carol, Merle, and Linda. You just kind of waved at everybody. Could you stand up and just please take a well-deserved round of applause? And then secondly, I'd like to actually thank Joe Marquez, who really led the effort to get Jim nominated for this well-deserved award. And Joe, you do look hot in that tux, so. So you see I have some words written down, and be grateful for that because it's really hard to stop talking about everything that Jim does. So the good news is there's a beginning and an end to what's going on between myself and a couple other speakers. So it is truly an honor to be here tonight to say some words about my dear friend Jim Kiser, the 2018 Darien Citizen of the Year. And most people in this room know Jim, and they know it is truly difficult to encapsulate the breadth and the depth of his generosity and efforts in just a few words and just a few examples. As we recognize Jim tonight, please note that our examples are only stories, an addition to the layers on top of the fabric that is Jim's tireless efforts over the years. So when you first meet Jim, he's just a very nice man, very unassuming. And if you hadn't seen him drive up in his blue pickup truck that has a screen that fills up the entire back window that says Lions International, or notice that perhaps that his license plate said Lions, I mean, you could talk to him for hours and not know that he's a Lion. He does all of his efforts and does serve the Lions Club and other things with such quiet and demure graciousness. So you don't even notice that maybe he's wearing a Lions tie or a Lions shirt, but he's doing that all the time, unless perhaps it's that ugly Christmas sweater that he wears during the holiday seasons. And as you heard in the proclamation read by Mayor Weaver, Jim has served in just about every board position, or he's served in every board position in the club and just about run every committee. But he doesn't just serve the Lions Club, in the local club in Darien, which is the second largest club in the state, by the way. But he serves in the zone and visits many clubs many nights a week, and but he continues to be the cornerstone of our club. So he's doing all of these things, yet at every board meeting, a question will arise. Whether it's about procedure, whether it's about the historical reasoning why we do what we do, or how we got to where we get. And everybody looks at Kiser and says, well, what's the right answer? He's the uber lion, and the refrain is, go ask Kiser, he knows everything. And he never says no. I've never heard him say no. He always says yes. He's always doing these things, and yet we all come to him with certain charities or events or activities that we also would want some help in. And he always says yes, and he always says it with like he has nothing else to do. It's not like, oh God, another thing, let me think about it. He delivers. And I've known him since 2004, and I've never seen him say no. And he just does it with such pleasantness. He's very humbling in that regard. So just give you an example of how he operates. The Darien Historical Society at their ice cream social last year decided to cook hot dogs. Well, it's a first-time thing for them, so we need some large grills to do that. Well, who's going to supply those grills for us? Well, let's ask Jim. Well, of course he does. So that doesn't sound like that big a deal, but think about what that means. That event took place on a Wednesday night, so he had to come home from work with his trailer in tow, stop at home, load these 4x2 two grills on his truck, drop them off, and then, Jim, do you want to stick around for a hot dog? Well, no, I don't have time. I still have to go to another club meeting in the zone tonight. So he was already giving that night, yet asked, can you give some more? He's put all of that into one night, getting back that night to pick up his grills and take them home and take them off his trailer. And never once did he ever complain about that or say, I don't have time. I think that story really typifies Jim. And same thing when the Lyle Giant Steps couldn't get their grills for a year. Who shows up with the grills on his trailer? Jim. And not just delivering the grills, but cooking and sweating over those hot coals, cooking hot dogs and bratwurst with some fellow Lions members, by the way, for over 300 people. So it's a big event. And as you saw, Jim got recognized for the dedication to our veterans. He also is instrumental in our Darien Foundation flag program. He procures all of the flags and the hardware necessary for that program on his way home from work. Oh, Jim, can you do another thing? Well, of course he can. And he's uniquely organized and clever. The club is very busy. We do several functions, and Jim not only serves at the function, but he's there to help break it down, like the Halloween party, or with his family delivering food baskets. And those two are kind of told in the same story, because in the back of Jim's truck, he has this very unique bin system and this long, looks like the kind of iron you used to stoke a fire with, but he can move those bins around like nobody's business and load up for food baskets or load up for the Halloween party and get things off to where they should be. It's incredible to watch him in action, but it's well thought out, well organized, but you can tell that he's invested in here to stay and to do this kind of work. And there's an example, we always think Jim has a tool for everything, and it's true. You know, if we run into a situation, not only does he have it, but he probably has it on his truck. So this is a true story. Last summer, the club tried to do a brand new thing. So most of our events, we've been doing them year after year. We've got a book, we know what to do. It's kind of brainless, which is kind of important to the Lions guys, which will become evident once the bar opens. But we decided at this event we're going to cook. Of course, Jim's going to bring his trailer with the grills, but we're also going to serve sangria. Now, sangria needs to have a glass full of ice to go with it, so we have no idea how much sangria we're going to serve or how much ice we're going to need. But it's there at the park. So the Citgo station isn't that far away, and I'm just sitting there working on the logistics in my head. Okay, how long is it going to take to go get some bags of ice and run them back, because we don't know what kind of crowd. We're trying to think it through, and I'm just thinking, you know what would be perfect for this task? Would be a shopping cart. I swear to God, here comes the big blue pickup with the trailer, with the grills on it. On the back of the trailer is a shopping cart. So apparently he can read minds. So with that, I would like to introduce Art Donner, a former Citizen of the Year, to say a few words about Jim Kiser.
Jim, I want to apologize first by starting this off. I had a speech that was about 25 pages and the city censors got a hold of it. I've got it down to 3 pages. Sorry about that. But anyway. Hello, my name is Art Donner. I'm happy to be with you here tonight to honor our good friend Jim Kiser. I've known Jim for about 20 years, and as an accountant, I have financially analyzed Jim for many years, and I'm happy to testify to the following. Jim, with respect to your charitable activities, you have an unlimited charitable budget. And I have to tell you that even with an unlimited budget, you are over budget when it comes to the hard work that you do. For those of you that don't know Jim, he works with machineries, chemicals, and manufacturing and delivery. And the many times he has stopped by my office, he often looks like he just got out of an oil drilling rig. Despite the hard labor that Jim is involved in, Jim spends his free time helping people and doing special things. For example, when we deliver the food baskets for the Lions Club, Jim has always waited to the very end to deliver food into the individuals that are there. And when you look through the window, he's the last one coming out. He's constantly slipping an envelope to help these people out. Besides what everyone sponsors, being the food, he's there to give them a little bit of extra help in that envelope. As a community volunteer, I see it at work. Darien Fest, the Easter egg hunt, at the Park for the Children, the Halloween party at the Sportsplex, driving to Timbuktu to mentor the other Lions clubs. One is truly a charitable person. When you do so much, it hurts to give your time, Jim, and that's what you do. Early on in Lion activities, Northern Illinois Lions Club were involved in an event called Someone Special, sponsored by the Oak Brook Terrace Lions. This event involved mentoring physically and mentally challenged adults and children at a luncheon and a theater event. It didn't take me long to see that Jim was bound to this program in carrying out God's mission to help these kids and adults for as long as that program continued. For Our Lady of Peace Church, Jim's involved in a lot of Holy Name Society items, and I see him in the back of the church. Jim, I'd like you to come up right now. For your efforts, I want to give you 2 items.
Careful. Walk slowly.
First, Jim, as a volunteer, I noticed that some of your jackets are starting to fall apart. You're doing so much. So we got together and we got you another jacket, and it just so happens to have an usher thing on it because I see him in church all the time being dragged into an usher. And second, Jim, a lot of people don't know, but Jim is a member of the local 150 union. And it's a brotherhood of engineers that get together. So I have here a certificate from the International Union of Operating Engineers Local 150 certificate that is signed by the president of Jim Sweeney, thanking Jim for his accomplishments in humanitarian aid. Again, Jim, this is cut down to 3 pages, I'm sorry. In closing, I want you to know, Jim, in Hollywood, when the movie needed a hero, they would bring on John Wayne. In Darien, when we need a volunteer, we bring in Jim Kiser. God bless you.
Thank you, Art. So Jim is not only a great Lion and a great member of our community, he's a great family man and the kind of friend everyone should have in their lives. Jim is one of these people who, through quiet and self-effacing, is known to have many and liked by all through his community, family, and work experiences. Jim has developed strong and extensive relationships, and these relationships allow him to be a reference for items needed and a quick source for assistance and a conduit for those in need. So last year, we talked about this when I had been in the hospital about 15 months ago. It was the time that Darien had that record rainfall, and my wife had been in the hospital with me for 15 hours, got home, and our basement was flooding, and of course I was in the hospital, so she had no one to turn to immediately, so she started calling some family members and friends who could not help. So she goes, I know what to do, I'll call Jim, he'll know what to do. So he said, I'll call you right back, and true to his word, he called back within 5 minutes, and 2 of our Lions members, Ken Conkey and Jim Jankowski, were on their way to help my wife, who wasn't a Lion yet, so she didn't know who to call, but he arranged that, and those 2 gentlemen helped us prevent any damage to our finished basement. And that was all because Jim knew what to do and got it done. Now, take that story a little forward. Just this last month, when we had all of that harsh winter in mid-February, and we had another Lion in the hospital, Lion Tom Whalen, and his front stairs and walkway were icing up so bad they were treacherous and making it difficult for his wife Jan to get to her car. Well, who was out there and chipped that ice away and made it safe for her to walk to her car? Well, of course, it was Jim Kiser. Now, Jan, where are you? I wanted to mention, just stay standing. She was just awarded by the Glen Ellen Chamber of Commerce, I think, the Glen Ellen Educator of the Year. Is that correct? Congratulations. So this year, the Darien Lions Club got involved with a special project. We call it the Special Needs House. A Darien resident had come to us at the Darien Fest. Grandfather had asked, could we help? His grandchildren had been taken away by DCFS. And it's because the house was environmentally unfit for a 2-year-old set of twins and their 4-year-old brother. So there was a lot to be done. Kitchen had to be completely remodeled, 2 bathrooms, but the backyard also had a lot of work to do. A 6-foot stockade fence, one of the posts had broken off at ground level, so that post had to be dug out and reset. There was the equivalent of something about half the size of this dance floor that looked like an overgrown junkyard right next to the house, but it was full of stuff and overgrown with brushwork that had to be removed, and a cyclone fence had to be installed connecting that cleared area from the house to the garage. Well, Jim Kiser not only procured the cyclone fence and the gate and the post to do the work, he reset that dug out the old fence posts, reset the new one, and reset all that cyclone fence and the gate, cleaned it all up, all by himself, got all that stuff in the dumpster while other Lions members were in the house doing the other work. But all of that, on top of everything that you're hearing today, how he found the time to do those things is truly remarkable. And you should be happy to know that 4 days before Christmas, those grandchildren were returned to their grandparents. So thank you for that. So now I'd like to introduce Greg Ruffalo to say a few words about Jim.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight. Lion Jim is a good friend, and I think they asked me to go at this spot instead of the front end so that I would keep my remarks short. Typically, I like to filibuster at some of our meetings, but but I won't do that, so I'll keep this concise. But in any event, it's a real pleasure to talk about Jim this evening. It's not often that I can say I remember exactly when I've met somebody in my life. But in Jim's case, I know it was 1997. It stands out in my mind because that was the year Jim joined the Darien Lions Club, which also happened to be the same year I was its president. That year we had about a dozen new members join, and Jim soon became a member whose involvement was quickly noticed. In the proclamation that Mayor Weaver read earlier this evening, you heard about Jim's service to the city of Darien and all the organizations that he's been a part of. In the Lions Club, as you've heard, he's chaired every committee with numerous, over 25 different chairs, served on the board of directors, and was president in 2013. He also received many awards and honors, including the Lions of Illinois Foundation, Darien Lions Foundation Fellow, Lion of the Year, George Lazansky Award, and Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Additionally, Jim shares his talents with other clubs in our district, providing leadership as the Lions District 1J Southeast Region Chairman. He is highly respected, and in the Darien Lions Club, affectionately called Mr. Lion, Super Lion, Uber Lion. More important than that, all the accolades he has received, the most important thing is that he does it all because he truly cares about helping people. When help is needed in our community, Jim is the first person to say, I can do that. Jim's family is also service-minded and can be seen volunteering at many Lions community projects. His wife, Carrie, has been a significant fundraiser collecting donations on Candy Day to serve the visually and hearing impaired. And his daughter, Caitlin, frequently helps at the annual pancake breakfast. And now his son, Tom, has followed his father's example by joining the Darien Lions Club in 2014. In closing, I'd like to read a brief statement found in the Lions Code of Ethics, which I believe perfectly outlines the actions of our honoree. And I quote, "Always bear in mind my obligations as a citizen to my nation, my state, and my community, and to give them my unswerving loyalty in word, act, and deed, to give them freely of my time, labor, and means." Jim leads by example and inspires others to participate and turn the phrase, "I can do that," into "we can do that." To put it simply, Jim is a man of character, good faith, a good friend to many, and someone who you can count on to do the right thing at the right time without being asked, simply because he cares. Congratulations, Jim.
So, I had some words also about his family, which pretty much what Greg just said, but I did have one additional comment I wanted to make in there because, bringing his son, little Tom, into the club. Now, there's a story behind that. Tom is named after his grandfather. So when the baby's born, you've got Big Tom and Little Tom, so you can figure out who's getting yelled at, right? But Big Tom was only 5'8". So Little Tom, would you mind standing up and just, there's a bit of humor at the family gatherings as time went on. I'm almost done here. I do want to say at a personal level, Jim has helped me in many ways, one of which was, you all may know that the Darien Lions Club has had no women members in it. And my wife wanted to join, and I went to him for counsel. I said, what do you think the guys are going to think about this? And his reaction was, who cares? So my wife is the first female member of the Darien Lions Club, and I think she found comfort in knowing that Jim was behind her, so thank you for that. So I put down a few words, adjectives to describe Jim. Honest, humble, confident, collaborative, passionate, inspirational, and responsible. And if you Google adjectives for leadership, these are listed in most people's top 5. Jim is a leader. I don't think he sees himself as one, but he is a strong leader. He leads by deed. He leads quietly. As a result of Jim's tireless efforts it shows many of us what to do and that we should do more. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He keeps going and going and going. But he does it in lion's purple and not bunny pink. He's an outstanding spouse, father, family man, lion, colleague, and a friend. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our outstanding 2018 Darien Citizen of the Year, Jim Kiser.
I too have prepared a few words, only because I'd forget what I'd want to say, so I wrote them down. Thank you, Steve, Art, and Greg, for your kind words. And to everyone who is here tonight to spend an evening with us in this spectacular banquet hall. Greetings, everyone. Thank you for letting me represent the city of Darien as this year's Citizen of the Year. It is a wonderful honor for my family and I to receive. It is hard to describe how it feels. It has been a rush. The vision of our city forefathers to start a program which our current city leaders continue today is wonderful. Many thanks to Mayor Weaver, the aldermen, city staff, and especially the committee of 4 ladies who all have made tonight possible. Bonnie Kiser, Linda Broviak, Carol Mellers, and Meryl Salazar. You are fabulous. Thank you to our veterans and those active today. Your actions keep us free. Thank you to our police and fire. Because of you, our city stays safe. Let's not forget those who have gone before us. They are the reason we are here today and who we are. I am able to be here tonight because of my family, my wife Carrie, and my 2 children, Thomas and Caitlin. Thank you. So how do you become the person you are today? Looking back at my childhood, 2 groups and a comedian left a mark on me. The Hammond Mohawks took kids to White Sox games, and the Shriners had Christmas programs and gave away presents. Jerry Lewis left a mark on many with his comedy and how he felt about the MDA. Did they ever think that the actions they were taking would ever make a difference? Going forward to the late 80s, I met my wife, moved to Darien, and started a family. We had no idea what Darien had to offer. Our journey, which started 30 years ago, has shown us why Darien is a great place to live. Just look at all the people in this room who are part of something. We have churches, schools, a park district, library, and different levels of government, which anyone can be part of. Other options, and not limited to, include the Darien Historical Society, Women's Club, and of course, the Lions Club. A group we found early on was the DYC, and probably a starting point for many families here in Darien. It was a great time and a place to help out. My children also played sports in high school, and the next logical step was the Boosters. A very memorable event each week was the Thursday night pasta dinners for the football team during the season. Just over 20 years ago at Darien Fest, a very popular place, I met an old neighbor and he invited me to a steak fry. I soon found out about the Darien Lions Club. Before joining, I was told what it took to be a member, and I didn't think I could fulfill all that, what they required. I think I proved myself wrong, and because of many people in this room, I am the person I am today. Have you ever thought what you do makes a difference? Several years ago, my wife Carrie and I, with a couple other friends, went on a mission trip with a church group to Mexico. The goal was to put a 12 by 12 addition onto a family's home. For us, this is the size of a shed, but to them, it was 1/4 more living space. After mixing concrete, cutting boards, pulling slivers, and pounding nails, we finished the project. The smiles were from ear to ear, and the family appreciated everything we did. I found what I did not expect at a small grocery store when I was getting a cold Coke. On the back of a pickup truck was a makeshift eye doctor's office. A couple of the people who came with us were eye doctors who brought recycled eyeglasses with them. The doctors gave many people the ability to see clearly once again, and for some, the very first time. That was incredible and reassured me what one person can do for another. From the knock on the door on that cold January night, from 4 brave ladies to now, we have had some time to think. I thought of the pleasure I had with working with my father-in-law for almost 30 years. He had a phrase, "Let's do something even if it's wrong." I always thought about that. Why would we do something if it was wrong? So I made it a point to do it right the first time around. I look at that phrase a little differently now. No matter how hard you try to do something, someone will find something wrong with it. As my aunt would say, the point being, do your best to do something right. Along with that, the extra mile you walk and the extra hour you put in does make a difference. Before I finish, I ask you a question. Ever watch a movie and something catches your eye in the background? This past Christmas, I noticed something in a scene while watching It's a Wonderful Life. In the scene of the loan office, you see a picture of Peter Bailey, and on the wall along with the phrase. And I leave you with these words as it reads. All you could take with you is that which you've given away. Thank you very much, and have a fantastic evening.
So as is the tradition for this event, I am instructed to say, let the party begin, the bar is now open. Enjoy.